So Old Dads is a comedy starring comedian Bill Burr, who also co-wrote, co-produced, and it is his first time directing a movie as well. And this is basically a movie that you might have seen before, meaning that it is very similar to a movie like The Hangover, where it's a buddy film and they go out and do some crazy stuff. At least that's what I thought whenever I saw the trailer. However, when I did watch this movie, it was a little surprising. And so the general story with this film is we have these three best friends. They've been friends for a very long time, and they also own their own business together. However, changes are coming whenever somebody who's younger actually purchases their business, and then this affects them, their family, and their spouses. And this is where we get our movie, because this deals with a lot of different things, mainly how modern times change people who are old, and also how being old brings in other things as well, and how it affects the relationships in their life. So let's get into the things that I did enjoy about this film. And I would say the comedy is something that I really did like, because I do enjoy Bill Burr's comedy, and you can see a lot of his comedy here, especially when he's tackling the subject of modern times and modern sensibilities. And it is just really funny to see that out there, because Bill Burr is the type of person who just puts it out there with very few filters, and I did enjoy that. And then the second part of it is the overall general story is something that I found surprising, because even though it does have some of those elements of The Hangover, it's really the relationship stories, the relationship between friends and the relationship between their spouses, and what they're going through in life. And that was the part that's most surprising to me, because I really did enjoy that. And I would say, looking back at this movie, that was the best aspect of it, because I was expecting a hangover film, just a fun film, throwaway film. And this one is really not that, I would say, because it's more about these relationships. And also, as you're watching this movie, things happen to them in their lives that maybe you might be able to relate with, especially around that age range. And that's something that I really did appreciate, because it brings a lot of things that are happening or have happened to people in real life, but it puts it in a way that is comedic, but I would also say a lot more touching than you would expect out of this type of movie. At least that's the way that I felt. And then the final thing that I did really like about this film is just the overall acting, not only from the three main actors, but also the women in this film, because they really bring a lot of, I would say, weight to it, because it's not just about them, it's about them as a whole. And like I said, it just makes it a little bit more emotional and more real. And then whenever you watch scenes like whenever they're in the kids' preschools and stuff, private schools, that stuff is really funny. And I don't think that would have worked as well if it didn't have good chemistry between all the actors involved. And so that is something else that really makes this a fun film overall for me. And then for the negatives of this film, if you were expecting something a lot like The Hangover, you only get a really small part of it. There are funny, comedic, raunchy moments, but that's not what most of this film has. And other than that, I would say this is a good, solid comedy film with definitely some surprising moments when it comes to the story and also the characters involved. And if you're just looking for that, then Old Dads does deliver. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave in the comments area below. And if you did want to see more of my film reviews, I do have an entire playlist. I'll leave that in the description area below. For serious YouTubers, check out TubeBuddy, the premier tool news at geekoutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below.